Hey guys, I am so pumped to be here. I wasn't exactly going to do this video today, but Amber, you had a comment that touched on this, and I thought, hey, why not do it now? So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Dawn Marie, and I help creative entrepreneurs start and grow their businesses. And I'm so pumped with where this group is going to go in 2025, and that I can be here just a part of your journey, and I'm so thankful for that. So thank you for being here. Okay, so we are going to talk a little bit about time management, especially for us mompreneurs, right? So we lead busy lives, we have families, we have kids. Like, how can we get it all done in a day? And first off, the answer is we can't. Like, we don't put your expectations so high in yourself that, you feel like a failure if you don't get it all done. But based on my experience, I'm going to share a couple things that have helped me, that I currently do, that I have done, etc. So for those of you that don't know, I have 7 kids and I built my business. I started when they were all under 11. So I had a lot of different ages in there from 1 to 11. And my husband was working on the road a lot, traveling as a power lineman. And so he was gone a lot. And so I had to figure out how I could grow my business, how I could start a business out of my living room, and still have time for myself and my kids and making all the meals and doing all the things. So how did I do that? And what are some things that can transfer over into your guys' lives, and things that you can do or maybe implement, or how we can learn from each other? So that's kind of what we're going to do. I'm going to go over like 5 different little points. I'm not going to take too much time, but the last one, you guys, is kind of where I get on my little soapbox, and because it's so important to my life. And I want to know if you guys like what you think of it. Some of you might hate me, I don't know, but we'll see. So the first one is just prioritizing your day with a plan. So that plan can be whether like you wake up and you figure out like, okay, what am I going to do today? What are the important things that I'm going to accomplish? What are things that are like non-negotiables that I have to get done? I know for some people, they like to do that for like the month, right? They list out everything that needs to be accomplished this month. Some people like to do it by the week. Some people like to do it by the day. It doesn't matter. Just write down exactly what it is that's a priority to you that you need to get done in that day. Usually I emphasize like the top 5 tasks that I need to get done regardless of what happens, right? Like, I can't go to bed until this is done. And depending on what your business is, that could look different for everybody, right? But what are the non-negotiables? What are the things that like you have to get done before the day ends? Write those down and figure out a plan. If you just wake up every day, the kids are crazy, the house is a disaster, or whatever, and you have all these tasks, plus you're trying to start your business, grow your business, reach out to new people or whatever, it's not going to work. You have to take control of your time, kind of like you take control of a budget, right? Like, we budget our money, we have to budget our time, okay? So you have to prioritize with a plan. And again, you can do this differently. Maybe some people are like pencil and paper. I'm a pen and paper kind of girl. I write everything down. But I have figured out how to use the app Notion, which is now next to ChatGPT, like my bestie, where I put everything in Notion. I love it. And so maybe you have a digital thing like that, Trello, or just even Google Calendar or something like that, where you can use it digitally. Totally fine. If you're a pen and paper kind of girl, write it down. But you have to start with a plan. So that's all I will say about that. The second tip is using time blocking. If you don't know what time blocking is, please give it a try. Time blocking is literally where you just block out certain chunks of time to do certain tasks. So when you're in that block, you're 100% in that block. So maybe it's, you don't have to be super like, like super disciplined about every single like little, minute of the day, but just an overall, from this time to this time, it's, play time or kids time or family time or work time or whatever. Give your day a plan, right? It's part of that time budget. And then during those times, what are you going to be doing during that time? So I use time blocking. I love it because then I feel like I'm not missing out, right? If I'm 100% in on work at this time, I know I'm not missing family time or kid time or work time or, personal time because I have those blocks for that too. So use time blocking and time block fun stuff too. Time block in self-care, time block in anything that's important to you. Actually, I would do that first. Time block your family, your self-care, things that you want to do and make sure that you don't lack. Put that in your calendar first and then fill in the other spots. Making use of time that you have throughout the day, especially moms with young kids, nap times, all that kind of stuff. Use that time to get things done. And it's crazy the amount of stuff that you can get done during a short amount of time if we're just like super, why can't I think of the words today? Man, it feels like Monday. Is anybody days like totally like, this is when I don't know what day of the week it is or what time of the year or anything. Like, it's so crazy this whole week. Anyways, I totally forgot what I was saying. But yes, if you are focused on that specific small chunk of time, it is amazing the amount of work that you can get done during that. So that brings me to my tip number 3, which is leveraging that small window of time when that arises. So for example, your kids are playing well, or it was movie time, or it's nap time, or whatever, and you have 30 minutes, ready, set, go, and you work on getting what you can done during that time. And I would keep a list of things that you can get done in under a half hour, and then maybe another list of stuff that you can get done in under like 10 minutes. So when those times arise, you're like, hey, I'm gonna go to my list. Oh, I'm gonna knock out this, this, and this. And so maybe that's writing an email. Again, this is gonna vary depending on what your business looks like. But maybe it's sending an email, maybe it's making that one phone call, maybe it's listing one Etsy product. If you think about it, if you just do one a day, by the end of the year, you're gonna have 365 things listed. So that's pretty cool. So don't downplay the little things. So what can you do under that time? You guys, if you haven't noticed, I talk with my hands, and I'm sorry if that's distracting, because sometimes it's distracting to me, so maybe I'll sit on my hands. Anyways, so leverage those small windows of time, fit it in where you can. That didn't last very long. And set alarms on your phone if you need to, reminders on your calendar, however you have to do it in order to remind yourself. Or, when I was little, I don't know if you guys did this, or even I did it with my kids, was like, set a timer and see how much stuff you can get done before the timer ends, right? Like, oh, we have to clean up this room, you got 10 minutes, ready to go. And all of a sudden you get so much stuff done because of that timer. So make it a game. Gamification, that's a real thing. Make a game of it and see how much stuff you can get done during that time. Okay, tip number 4, set boundaries. You have to set boundaries, okay? You can't always expect yourself to be in work mode. You have to set boundaries or you're gonna get burnt out. So those boundaries are gonna look different for everybody, but maybe it's, you're done working at this time and you're not gonna take any phone calls or answer any emails or any texts or anything after that time. Maybe it's a few hours on the weekends. You're not going to go into the shop or into the office during those few hours or whatever it is. You have to set boundaries and then tell your family, tell your kids, tell your customers that these are in place for a lot of reasons, right? They're in place to protect you, your family, your business, all of the things, and usually people will respect that. So you have to set boundaries. And then, so tip number 5, this is my last one, and then my bonus one. That's the one that I love to talk about. So the next one is, well, this actually leads into the bonus one, but tip number 5 is delegate and ask for help and normalize the idea of getting your family involved in the chores, in the cleaning, in the household stuff. So this is where I'm going to talk a little bit about kids helping out. I have seen it my entire adult life where people, and I've been here too, I'm not like talking at anybody, but again, I have done things with our kids that have totally helped me in my business with teaching them how to do things around the house. I've seen it time and time again where people don't think their kids are capable of doing it or not capable to their standards, right? So then they just do it themselves. Like how many times, we're like, I'd have my kids fold the clothes, but like, hello wrinkles or whatever, like, and then you just end up doing it yourself because the kids can't do it to your standards. I will beg you, just try to let them do it, whatever task that is. And if they are old enough to operate an iPad or a TV remote, they are old enough to learn how to use things like the washing machine and the vacuum cleaner and all that kind of stuff. Please have your kids help out. You can't do everything. You can't do everything, okay? Period. You can't do everything. But you can't do everything around the house and then expect yourself to have time to work on your business and self-care and get enough sleep and all the things. Like there's just not enough time in the day. So we have to delegate. We have to ask for help. Team up with your spouse, your partner, and say like, hey, this is a goal of ours to grow this business, or this is a goal of mine. Like, could you help out in these areas? And let them know. Your kids, same thing. Hey guys, we're gonna take, you're part of the family, so these are the chores that I'm gonna teach you how to do, or whatever. That is one thing with our kids specifically. And I bring up laundry as an example because it is the one thing as a mother of a large family I get asked all the time, or I get told usually. People are like, oh, I bet you like laundry is just insane at your house and whatever. You guys, please hear me when I tell you we have taught our kids to do their own laundry for as long as I can remember. So right now our kids are 19 to 9 and they have all done their laundry for as long as I can remember. And I cannot tell you when the last time I did a load of laundry that wasn't mine. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know. All my kids, down to the 9-year-old, okay, they all wash their own sheets and their towels and everything. I think are teenagers. We have 4 teenagers right now. And actually in February, we will have 5 teenagers for a week before my oldest turns 20. So anyways, that's crazy. And so I don't think they would like me doing their laundry actually now at this point, because they have their ways and their, all their things, but teach them how to do their own laundry. When their basket's full, they go wash it and they're in charge of putting it away and whatever. So again, that's just an example. As a mom with a large family, I never do the laundry. Besides my own clothes and like my sheets and whatever, like I'm never doing laundry because we have taught our kids how to do it. So that's just an example of something you can teach your kids. You can teach your kids how to cook. You guys, if you know me, we have an 11-year-old and she's currently 11 named Selah, and she is a little powerhouse. I don't know how else to describe her. I hope to bring her to an event someday and you all can meet her. She is amazing. She keeps this house running like you would not believe. She makes the teenage boys breakfast before they leave for school. She's homeschooled, and so our 2 youngest are. And when the boys come home for lunch during the day, like from school, she makes the boys lunch. Usually she makes dinner every day. She cleans the house, and she is like she is a machine, and we love her to death. I mean, we love our little kids, but she's 11, you guys. She just turned 11, okay? So that is to show you that it is possible to have children help you with things around the house, like meals and cleaning and so forth, which is going to free up your time to do things with your business, with yourself, with your spouse, whatever you need to do during that time, or allow you to just not focus on that on the weekends or whatever. Please teach your children, okay? Which is gonna go into my bonus, and this is the other thing that I could talk on forever, and I won't, because I know I don't want to keep you very long. I used to actually, before I had my business, I used to speak on this at moms groups and stuff, is how to live with less. I think that was like the title of my talks, is how to live with less. Get rid of like half your crap. For real, you guys. Living with less. And I'm not saying like you have to be a minimalist where the, like, you know, there's like bare walls and like nothing in your cabinets and whatever. Like, that is not what I'm talking about. But so much of us, especially after Christmas now, so much of us have so much crap that we're just like drowning in. And I don't know if you know, but it's been like scientifically proven that like material, like physical stuff takes up mental energy. And that's why like when you walk into like a clean room with like very minimal clutter, it's just like calming, is because it doesn't take up that much mental energy to even just be in that room. And if you have less stuff, right, you have less stuff to clean, you have less toys to pick up, you have less toys to trip over, you have less toys to clean. If you get rid of half your clothes, you have less laundry to do, okay? If you have less clothes, you have less clothes to wash. Getting all excited here. Seriously, I would challenge you, even if it means like, let's say you have a bunch of kids, because I'm talking to moms here, you have some toddlers or whatever, I would just, I would try it. Box up everything, like even just put it in totes and put it in the garage and give them like a handful of things, like 5 at the most, and see how they do for a day or 2. It is crazy. And again, I used to speak on this, and so I've looked at the research and all of that, and there are studies that show that your kids' attention span is so much stronger when they have less to deal with. They get too overwhelmed with all the things and all of the noises and all of the choices. If we walk into a super cluttery room with all this stuff going on, like we feel that same way, right? But yet we're expecting our kids to like behave well when they're overstimulated. So that's just the toys. Dishes, you guys, if you have less dishes, you have less dishes to wash, okay? We have gone several different times. We're only having 1 plate, 1 bowl, 1 cup per each person in the family. And guess what? Once we eat breakfast, it has to be washed, dried, and put away before we can eat again. It's just so much. And right now, we are downsizing. We're getting ready to downsize, I should say, like half of our stuff. And it is so freaking fun to like get rid of things. It's amazing. So anyways, that is my bonus tip, is to get rid of, I would even say half. Get rid of half your stuff. Half your closet, half your toys, half your everything, half your books that you don't read anyways. If you have a storage room or storage closet, you're not going to use it more by shoving it in a closet. So if you don't need it, if you don't use it and you don't love it, why do you have it? So that is my challenge to you, is getting rid of some of that stuff. You guys, I could talk forever about that. So anyways, that's what I'm going to say. That's my mompreneur advice for now. So just to recap, prioritize the day with a plan, because otherwise it's not going to happen. Use time blocking, leverage those small windows of time, set boundaries, and then delegate and ask for help. And the bonus one was get rid of all. I shouldn't say all. Get rid of half your stuff, and then see how you feel. So anyways, that is that. Let me know what you guys think. I want to encourage you to take one of those and try it, okay? I would say get rid of half your crap first, because that's going to make everything else easier. But if you just want to start out by like making a plan for the day, that's totally fine. But tell me one thing that you're going to maybe try, and put it in the comments under this. Let me know. I would love to hear what works for you. What part of that made you excited? What part of that made you mad at me for telling you to do? Maybe it's get rid of your clothes. I don't know, whatever. But let me know so we can have this conversation, because my goal is to help you guys grow, and that is what I'm here for. So anyways, thanks for being here. You know where to reach me, and we will talk to you soon.